So now that we're done with the Jets team-by-team analysis, we now have the Patriots. So starting off with the Patriots, we have the team strengths, which obviously, even though I hate them, we have to put the QB position. Definitely the tight end position. Their D-line was pretty good last year, I would have to say. Their linebackers are definitely a strength on that defense. And safety position. So what do you guys think about those?
I completely agree. I think even though they don't have big name wide receivers, they always just seem, that whole team just seems to get it done. I think running back might even be a strength, just because they don't have names. They don't have like an Adrian Peterson, but like they have James White, who came out of nowhere and got the job done. They have LeGarrette Blount, who either has 4 touchdowns or doesn't really do anything. But when he does go off, he absolutely goes off. Who's the other one? Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis came out of nowhere, and now he's doing great. All of a sudden, unfortunately, he got hurt. And then they had Steven Jackson, who came in and helped them out in the playoffs. So, honestly, I think that's a strength for them. However, LeGarrette Blount and Steven Jackson are both free agents this year. Do you guys think they should?
No.
What do you think about that?
I think that what they're going to do is, like, they're probably going to get Matt Forte if they could just clear up enough cap room, because they're like a favorite to get him. So I don't think that they should do anything with LeGarrette Blount. I think he's like
problem is with doing that though is that their cap situation is around like $1 million that they have to
exactly.
So if they want to re-sign something, they gotta let both of them go. They can't get anybody.
Exactly.
They do have a lot of free agents, but they're really only the 2 key ones. Really, everybody else is really no names. Their team needs though, I personally think it's probably a good wide receiver too, and they got to solidify that cornerback position.
They don't really have I know that Julian Edelman is good and all, but he's more like a slot receiver. They need like that guy on the outside.
Yeah,
that's why I call him.
Julian Edelson's more of like a Wes Welker guy that'll catch a lot of balls.
Yeah.
He'd be good for Tom Brady, but they don't really have a dominant receiver. I mean, they do have Gronk. He's just as good as any dominant receiver.
I think he takes that role for them.
But if they can get that wide receiver 1, that just makes their offense a lot more dangerous, because those wide receivers, like their names that you hear, like Keyshawn Martin, Danny Amendola, they're only good.
Release Brandon LaFell.
They're only good.
I'm just saying for last.
I'm saying
they're only good because Tom Brady's there, which is probably like for a lot of other weapons on the offense. So now going to we're still on the team needs, sorry. So I put running back, wide receiver, and cornerback. I know that what's his name, Malcolm Butler's there.
Yeah, he was really good. He was under the radar. He was really good last year. He was
really good.
After that, in the Super Bowl, that game-winning interception, he really turned things on.
I thought it was going to be a one-hit wonder. I thought it was like that was just going to get that interception.
I was confused because it's not like you heard anything about him prior to that. You know what I mean? It's not like he was like this almighty corner, and then in the Super Bowl he had that great pick. He had a great pick, and then became a number 1 corner.
Yeah, he was like nobody made.
Game-saving
headlines, game-saving play, like you said. And then, Darrelle Revis left, and he just accepted the role of being a top 5 NFL quarterback.
See, this is why I hate Bill Belichick and the Patriots. They can make that, guy that you got off the street, the best player in the world. They got rid of Darrelle Revis because they knew that they could get, Malcolm Butler for $13 million less and almost as good as him.
Wasn't Julian Edelman, a special teams player star that they turned into this crazy receiver?
Before Wes Welker, yeah.
I don't know what they're doing over there. James White comes out. No, Dion Lewis comes out. They're doing something that just really isn't.
It's insane.
And you want to know what they're doing right? Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. That's all they need.
It really is.
So back to the cornerback position. They have Malcolm Butler, but they still don't have a second cornerback.
They had Brandon Browner.
They got rid of him.
They got rid of him last year. They had Revis. He's gone. Now all they have really is Malcolm Butler. Who is it? Logan
Ryan. And he was okay.
He did decent.
He did decent enough. But I mean, if they get another
moments, though,
if they get another good cornerback, I mean that defense can be special.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their pass defense was
because Devin McCurdy's really good. Patrick Chung still
got
a lot of them.
Amazing.
Their defensive line is insane. Well, they're not big names, but they play insane.
Chandler Jones,
and their linebackers are insane. However, speaking of their linebackers, Gerard Mayo retired.
Yeah.
After about 8 seasons in the league.
Yeah, 8, 9.
So
They're not
It's
that,
gonna be.
they're not
It's
that-
not. I feel like they're not gonna. They're gonna miss him. Obviously, he was a very, very special player for them. But I feel like they're just so good there. Like I don't really know. I don't feel like you're gonna see like a significant drop. You might. Maybe he was like this leader for them and he made a bunch of calls. But other than that, I don't really know if you're gonna see
They
that
still
big
got
of a
Dante
drop.
Hightower and Chandler Jones. They still have guys there.
No, and James What? No, what's the? What is it? James White? Who's the outside linebacker?
Jamie Collins.
Jamie Collins. I
Mhm.
couldn't.
James White's around.
So-
Yeah. I don't know why I got that mixed up. Yeah.
So now we go to the free agent targets and draft options for the running back position, and this is going to be a theme with all of the Patriots free agents and with every other team in the AFC East because another point, 3 of the 4 AFC East teams have like the
Free agent.
that, and they also have like the 3 out of the 4 worst cap situations in the NFL. The Dolphins have the worst or the second worst.
Dolphins might be. I don't know. It might be. It's something in this order. It's the
Second
Dolphins,
worst.
Saints.
The Dolphins are the second worst.
Dolphins, the Saints are really bad, and there's
The
one other
Bills.
team. The Bills. The Bills were the 3rd worst. The
Now we got a
The-
smoke alarm going off.
the whatchamacallit, Saints were the 1st worst. They
Yeah.
were bad by a lot. It's because of Drew
Brees.
Brees' thing. Yeah.
So now, with the running back position, again with such limited cap, they need to cut a lot of players in order to get like a big name guy. And again, Matt Forte is with has been connected with them. They're gonna need a little bit more money, like probably like $4 or $5 million, maybe even like $6 million, because running backs don't go for that much anymore. Not as much as wide receivers and quarterbacks.
They're harder to come by too.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and if they do feel comfortable with like Deion Lewis and James White again, I mean, because Steven Jackson and LeGarrette Blount are probably gone, so if they feel comfortable with like Deion Lewis and James White, like that third down
I have
back,
a question. Is LeGarrette Blount or Steven Jackson worthy for another team, or you think they're just about done?
Steven Jackson's done.
Steven Jackson's definitely done. LeGarrette Blount, I mean, you saw him with the Steelers. He was nothing, you know?
Mhm.
Whenever he goes back to New England, this is what, his second, third stint in New England? He's
Yeah,
been
something
good
like
with them, but I mean, with any other team, like, it just hasn't clicked for him. I don't know why, but, I mean,
He's also been in trouble a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
off-field issues.
So now we have the wide receiver position. Like we said, they just need like that outside guy, like that big name not big name, but big bodied outside receiver outside of Edelman and Gronk. And they're probably not going to get anybody free agency because wide receiver goes for a lot now, like
Yeah.
over upwards of like 8 or 10 million.
Especially since there's not really any high caliber besides Alshon Jeffrey. The next best is like, who is it? Marvin Jones, maybe?
Yeah.
Debatably.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like,
It's definitely like a lesser free agent market now.
there's
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
really much for a wide receiver.
And another thing that kind of screws them over is that they don't have a first round pick because of Deflategate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a second round pick, and that's like in the late second round. So
Yeah.
that's a big thing. They
That's
don't
why they keep getting screwed over with these draft picks. I feel like
exactly.
Yeah.
with all these
So
draft
they
picks.
need to find someone in the second round that's like worthy of. I think that's who they go with for the second round pick. Outside, like an outside big body wide receiver. But then again, they could probably get like a D lineman and turn him into Jesus. So whoever they get, it's just gonna be you're gonna hear his name a lot. Finally, the cornerback position. Like we said, there's not a lot of cap space. They can't sign like his corner because like the big thing now in the free agent market that wasn't back like 5 years ago. The 3 big things in the free agent market are now the wide receiver position, the D-line position, and the cornerback position. Those are the 3 positions that just, like, because quarterbacks don't make the market anymore.
Mhm.
Those are the 3 positions, like, when they become free agents, they get a lot of money. Malik Jackson, like, almost a reserve for the Broncos, it wants $15 million.
No, but he ended up playing really good.
He's really good, but
did.
but again, he was a reserve on that team, and he's asking for $15 million. He's a really good player, but still, like that's insane. That's like that's just showing how big the D-line position, the cornerback position, and the wide receiver position have been. You're not going to get a quarterback in free agency unless you have like a lot of money.
Mhm.
So I don't know what they're going to do there. Maybe they just keep Malcolm Butler and the other guy, Logan Ryan, for another year. Unless they can find someone in the draft in like the 3rd round, because like they'll probably find someone and make him into a starter. So that's just the thing with the Patriots. They don't have a lot of cap. That's their story. They have to find someone in the draft, and that screws them over because of their first round pick. So cuts need to be made with the Patriots.
Yeah, but now with that draft pick, What position should they go after?
I mean, at this point, really,
With their late second round pick, what is it?
Essentially as a third round pick because they went far into the playoffs. They have a late pick and they don't even have a first round pick. I mean, you kind of just got to go for the best player available at that point.
Yeah.
You got to get the talent. I mean, it's not really about position considering second, third round guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to just rely on your board.
Now, would you consider this draft deep or not really? Or only deep at like certain positions?
Deep at certain positions.
Yeah.
Like defensive line is very deep for this. I mean, receivers, those are not good at all.
What's that guy out of Ole Miss? He's got a weird name.
Laquan Treadwell. There's like
is
three.
Is he actually good, or is he just like the only good one?
There's 3 or 4 that I can think of
that
will probably be first round picks. Other than that, there's not a really good one. There's Michael Thomas, Laquan Treadwell, Corey Coleman, and Josh Doxson. Those are the 4 that are going in the first round.
Who's that guy out of Notre Dame?
Fuller's
He's
also
pretty good too. Yeah.
I mean, there's like 10 guys, but they're usually like in the past 2 drafts. There used to be guys like the 4th round who used to start for your team, like Alan Hearns.
Yeah.
Like was like a 4th or 5th round pick. I'm pretty sure he became into a starter and he almost a Pro Bowler. That fell.
And another need for the Patriots, other than the wide receiver, like we're just talking about, that's not that deep. Cornerback, that's actually deep in this draft. They have a lot of talent at cornerback in this draft.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Which isn't common recently. This is like
it's very uncommon.
There could be 3 first-round draft picks that are cornerbacks.
But then
Alexander. Sorry.
But that's all right. But like you were just about to say, that's a problem. Is that they're all first-round guys?
Yeah.
Is there anyone that's going to be available late second round for the Patriots to pick up if
Probably
they need
not.
one?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the Deflate game probably screwed the Patriots over. Actually helps the Browns now, not the Browns, the Titans, because now they get a first round pick, the first overall pick, and now they get the 32nd pick really. So they really get 2 first round draft picks. So it helps the Titans, screws the Patriots. Patriots need to make some cuts and everything. So that's basically it for the Patriots team by team analysis. So now sticking with the AFC East, we're going to go to the Bills.